Ukraine, would it give you any pause?
I don't have a problem with Russia. I really don't. I have
Why?
a problem with Ukraine. They're corrupt. I think that people are just ridiculous that they think that Putin's such this enemy. He isn't doing anything. He just wants back what was his.
But he invaded. He invaded.
What was his.
He invaded Ukraine,
That's fine.
killing thousands of people.
That's fine. That's fine with me.
Trump world is paying attention to how well their propaganda campaign is working on their followers who are openly willing to support Vladimir Putin's deadly invasion as if it's his right.
As a veteran yourself, does it concern you at all that Russian aggression could move even beyond Ukraine?
I don't think Putin's a problem. I think Zelensky's the problem.
Why do you think Putin's not the problem? He's the one that invaded Ukraine and has killed thousands of people.
Because Putin is trying to save his country from the likes of idiots like Zelensky and the elitists.
The question was, does it concern you that the Russian aggression can move beyond Ukraine? And he launched into how he likes Putin but doesn't like Zelensky, which has nothing to do with whether or not Putin's growing aggression is concerning, because it's not to him. They've adopted the violent leader that Trump admires as their own. Trump can do no wrong, and now neither can Putin. But like everything else, Trump can't do this alone.
My lawyers, before I left, and these are people who work for a big law firm, this is not Bob's law firm, this is one of the biggest law firms in the world, said, you're going to get arrested if you do this by the U.S. government on sanctions violations. And I said, well, I don't recognize the legitimacy of that, actually, because I'm American and I've lived here my whole life. And that's so outrageous that I'm happy to face that risk, because I so reject the premise, okay? I'm an American. I should be able to talk to anyone I want to. And I plan to exercise that freedom, which I think I was born with. And I gave them this long lecture. They're like, we're just lawyers. And of course, it made me mad. So I was lecturing them on the phone, and I had another call with the head lawyer. And he said, well, look, a lot will depend on the questions that you ask Putin. Mm-hmm. If you're seen as too nice to him, you could get arrested when you come back. Mm. And I was like, you're describing a fascist country, okay? You're saying that the U.S. government will arrest me if I don't ask the questions they want asked?
While Trump works as a character witness for Vladimir Putin and his deadly invasion, people like Tucker Carlson not only piggyback on those talking points, but they work the angle of sowing distrust in the American government versus Russia. He spoke to his attorneys, and they told him all of this, which, if it's true, is just their legal opinion. But Tucker knows his audience will take that story and say the government threatened to arrest Tucker, when in reality, Tucker looked worried about being arrested when he was in Russia.
I asked you about your interview with Putin.
With who?
With Putin.
I've heard the name, but
With our President Putin.
Yeah, it sounds familiar, but I don't. Thank you. You walked me into a corner.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for having me here. I really do like it. I'm not just saying that.
He skedaddled his ass out of there ASAP after this propaganda work was done, and then he transitioned to defending it. And his case was airtight, I guess.
The idea that I'd be flacking for Putin when, my relatives fought in the Revolutionary War, like I'm as American as you could be, it's like crazy to me. Ann Applebaum calls me a traitor to my, okay, right.
Again, conservatives prove every day just how little they think of their supporters' ability to think for themselves. All the traitorous, dishonest work that he's done to help the former president create this chaotic atmosphere where nearly all of his supporters are primed to support Vladimir Putin above their own country means nothing, because someone related to him fought in the Revolutionary War. It seems simple to identify the elementary level work being done on them, but it's taken hold of the entire party.
There's no question that today the Republican Party is not operating on the basis of conservative principles or substance. I mean, if you think about, for example, what's happening today, if you think about how many Republicans are embracing Vladimir Putin, I mean, just think about that. And the thing that's pretty stunning is many of those same people would say they're Reagan Republicans. I talk about the people that you really have to be afraid of are the people that carry the Constitution around in their pocket, but they've never actually read it.